Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler, and today I am here with another collab video, yes indeed, but today I am here with a different guest, that being Diamond Legend. Go ahead, give your intro, bro.
Hello everyone, it's Diamond Legend here. I'm glad to be a guest on Tyler's channel. We've done another What If scenario over on my channel in the past, so it's always nice to work alongside him. With that being said, let's get straight into the video.
Hey, collecting rings like a Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy, so got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yo, bitch coming over. Yeah, we respect.
Now, if Vegeta didn't come up with the final explosion idea, or he did and just disregarded it in this case, I think there are two options that Vegeta has in this instance. Either fight Buu until he dies, or retreat with Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo, and etc. But I mostly see the second option being the most likely here, since the point of this what if is for Vegeta not to sacrifice himself or die against Buu. That would just be a lame cop-out for this video that I'm pretty sure no one wants. Anyways, after Vegeta regains consciousness and sees Trunks and Goten, he knows he is badly outclassed by Majin Buu, and he and the other fighters need to regroup, and so Vegeta along with the other fighters quickly disperse and fly off into the lookout as fast as possible. At that point, Buu would get back up after Trunks just got done kicking him into a mountain, and when he doesn't see Vegeta and the others, he gets furious, and this enraged Buu just starts going ham on the ground, just destroying most of the population on Earth.
Around this time during Buu's rage, Goku would wake up and head to the lookout, telling everyone that Gohan has most likely been killed by Buu, and he would have likely mentioned how he couldn't sense Vegeta, but Piccolo would say not to worry.
Because the reason as to why Goku can't sense Vegeta is because currently Vegeta is training in the time chamber, trying to increase in power as much as he can, since that's really all he can do. Goku would then tell Goten and Trunks about the fusion technique, and Goku would proceed to teach the group about fusion and still stall against Buu before then returning to the other world. Vegeta would still keep training and increasing in power, and during this time I feel like that Super Buu would still be born, and Goten and Trunks would still be taken into the time chamber, where they would see a Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta just ape out in the room of spirit and time. Seeing the two half-breeds, he questions as to why they're both here. In response to this, the two hybrids would both explain about what the fusion technique is and what Goku is teaching them. Vegeta would mutter how that's such a weak way to beat Buu, and this gets him even more irritated. Gotenks even asks Vegeta if he could maybe help them fight against Buu, but Vegeta would just deny this offer and say that he'll take him on alone, not with them, since he doesn't want anything to do with anyone right now. All he wants is to take down Majin Buu. During this time, by the way, Babidi would have been killed off, which I think would remove the Majin mark. Now, there's no necessarily right answer to this if it goes away if Babidi dies, so it's really all up to headcanon, and so I'm just gonna say that Vegeta's M gets removed after Babidi dies, because who wants to see that ugly ass M on Vegeta's forehead throughout the entire what if? That's what I thought. Anyways,
Super Buu would eventually make his way into the time chamber, and this would lead to Gotenks vs Super Buu for the first time, and Gotenks would fully go into Super Saiyan 3. He manages to shock Vegeta because of their raw power. However, Buu would then leave the time chamber, and the trio is seemingly stuck inside, but Gotenks makes a hole into reality and gets out. When the three exit, they would witness no one at the lookout. Their energy can't be sensed. When Vegeta senses that even Bulma is gone, he sees nothing but pure red.
Vegeta, fueled by rage, only can go into a Super Saiyan 2 form and just pound all of his anger onto Super Buu. Pause. But anyways, Vegeta would just completely combo Super Buu into his very last pieces, and even using a Gallic gun that seemingly gets rid of Buu's remains. However, to Vegeta's surprise, a piece of Super Buu is still intact, and he proceeds to regen back to full health and catch Vegeta off guard with a blast to the back. Meanwhile, Gotenks would proceed to steal the show, and he and Super Buu would have their fight similar to in canon, while Vegeta would recover from Buu's attack. After recovering, Gotenks would defuse, and Gohan would arrive, and Vegeta, witnessing Gohan's power, is taken aback by this. Gohan not too long ago was just weaker than him, and now he's just seeing Gohan just magically get so much more powerful, and this just adds on to his frustration already. And to add on to Vegeta's anger even more, Gohan is being cocky and not finishing Super Buu off when he can. At that point, Vegeta would then remind Gohan that even his little girlfriend Videl died from Super Buu, and he needs to take this fight seriously. After Gohan proceeds to actually listen to Vegeta and get ready to finish off Super Buu, Gotenks would then be refused, but then at that point, Super Buu would actually catch Gotenks off guard and fuse with him, allowing Buu-Tanks to be born. At that point, Gohan and Vegeta both know that they're going to have to work together in order to even try and have a chance against Buu-Tanks, and so the two of them proceed to try their best to combat him. Now, Bootanks is aware of Goten and Trunks' feelings towards Gohan and Vegeta, and he manages to take advantage of those feelings by manipulating Gohan and Vegeta, by saying how Goten and Trunks cared about Vegeta and Gohan so much. How could they just let them get absorbed like that so easily? They were so careless. After hearing this, Vegeta's mind just snaps, and thinking about all the people that Boo has killed, including his pride, he has just had enough. And at that point, Vegeta just snaps.
Vegeta screams out in a rage, way louder than ever before, showing an even bigger increase in rage than the rage boost against Super Boo. Vegeta this time is able to outdo Bootanks in combat, and even turn him into pieces. As Vegeta is doing this, Gohan steps in, covering the parts of Boo Vegeta might have missed, leaving Vegeta and Gohan destroying Boo to the bare bone. Boo is killed this time, thanks to Vegeta's rage boost being way bigger on the lookout, since it was just an additional fuel Vegeta already had, and because Gohan is here to get rid of the small remains of Boo that Vegeta may have left behind. So this means no Kid Boo or Oob, but Vegeta and Gohan do revive all the dead people Boo killed after 6 months have passed. However, one sad thing to come out of this is Son Goku doesn't come back, since he has no reason to. If anything, he has more of a reason to stay dead. Earth is safe, and Goku being on that Earth will only just risk more enemies.
And so after this, the Boo saga would then conclude, and this would lead into the Beerus saga. But beforehand, I'm actually going to get into what happens pre-Beerus saga. During the 4-year peace gap, Vegeta saw the potential of Goten and Trunks and knew that if Gohan wasn't going to keep up his training, then these two at least should. Goten and Trunks individually during this time get so strong to the point where they not only master Super Saiyan and the regular grades of Super Saiyan, but also Super Saiyan 2. I feel like it would make sense since it's 4 years of training with the likes of Vegeta. And obviously Goten wouldn't train with Trunks nearly as much since Trunks lives with Vegeta and Goten would have to go over to Capsule Corp, but I still feel like Goten would actually still be able to keep up with Trunks, just with Trunks having the slight power advantage. Vegeta during this time would have increased in power as well, becoming the strongest Z fighter on Earth. Piccolo would have at least been training as well, witnessing the progress of the hybrids and knowing that he can't fall behind. Piccolo would become the second strongest if we are speaking about only Goten and Trunks individually, and the third strongest if we are taking Gotenks into account. And yes, Vegeta is still the strongest Z fighter even with Gotenks' inclusion due to the power boost he got in the Boo saga and in this What If, along with the training he did post Boo saga, because I feel like he would logically be training way harder than the two hybrids ever would, since those two are just kids. Now after this, nothing else really changes, so we can actually move forward with the Beerus saga, aka the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. Beerus would still wake up and would hear about how Frieza was defeated by Goku, but Goku is currently dead now and the remaining Saiyans are on Earth and the strongest one seems to be Prince Vegeta. Beerus hearing this gets curious and the two still depart to Earth. Currently everyone would be at the yacht celebrating Bulma's party and Beerus would still arrive and things would go as per normal, but this time Beerus would just threaten to destroy Earth if he doesn't see the Super Saiyan God. This is because he's just getting impatient. Although he may be eating delicious foods, no matter how much food he eats, his hunger for battle would still remain. Vegeta and Gotenks and even Gohan try to stop Beerus, but he just slaps all three of them at once and still smacks Bulma and raging Vegeta, but it's still not enough to defeat Beerus. The idea of using the Dragon Balls gets brought up by Gohan this time, and everyone understands that they need 6 Saiyans to actually do the Super Saiyan God ritual. Because of this, Tarbell is actually called in for the one time thanks to Whis, and Tarbell doesn't mind helping them out, and besides, he understands that if he doesn't help them out, Beerus will probably destroy Earth along with him, so he just complies either way. Anyways, the 6 Saiyans join arms, with this time Vegeta obtaining the Super Saiyan God transformation, and he and Beerus would have their clash similar to when Beerus and Goku did in canon, and Beerus in the end still spares Earth. Now, Vegeta after this I do think would train on Beerus' planet as soon as he can, and over the course of the months, Goten and Trunks would actually want to join in on this training at least from time to time, and it takes Vegeta a while to even think about it, but I think in the end he would. Remember, these two, other than himself, are literally the strongest beings on Earth, via Gotenks, and so he thinks that maybe if Goten and Trunks could just get their potential unlocked even further on this planet and do their training, they could maybe become forces to be reckoned with and maybe even rival Vegeta, and Vegeta does like the sound of that. And besides, it's for the sake of the Earth in the end. And also, they wouldn't wouldn't be able to tap into God Ki because of their little body, but they do have an idea for this. They attempt to actually fuse into Gotenks when they're in that God Ki room, and Gotenks is actually able to move in the room with Vegeta, and Gotenks and Vegeta begin their God Ki training, with Vegeta obtaining a new power and Gotenks obtaining his own power as well. However, I will be saving that for part 2 of what if Vegeta didn't sacrifice himself. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did like this video along with Diamond Legend on the channel, be sure to go check him out in the description. And with that being said, be sure to go subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new, hit that like button, and also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord. Thank you all once again for watching. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace out. Bye.